Now, trust me when I say buying Near Protocol at these prices is probably one of the closest examples we have of buying Ethereum at low prices like $100. Now, what makes me so confident in saying this is going to be described to you in this video. All of the bullish factors that go into me being such a strong player in Near Protocol, personally on a portfolio level and also as a project. Now, if you're not familiar with my channel or who I am, I like to make sure that when I buy a project, I'm not married to my bags, right? I like to be objective, stay on the fence. If something bad happens, I'm the first person to leave, if that, of course, is a reason to leave. But in the case of Near Protocol, I cannot seem to find a single negative thing about this project, and I think it's going to be one of the largest players and gainers in the top market caps this cycle. At the very end of this video, guys, I'm going to give you a price prediction, but do not skip ahead. Why? Well, because it's no good in you just having a price if you don't know how I got there. With that being said, let's begin. And before I do, of course, if you do find yourself enjoying this content, guys, a lot of work goes into it. I would really sincerely appreciate a like on this video. Not only are you doing yourself a justice by hitting the like button, by continuing to support me, but if you hit the subscribe button, you're going to make me pretty happy when I wake up tomorrow knowing that you are now a supporter of all the work. Plus, of course, you can achieve your crypto goals. Now, let's begin, right? Let's truly begin. So what are we looking at here? Well, we're looking at Near Protocol's chart, of course, on CoinMarketCap. Now, I'm going to circle back to this momentarily here, but what I wanted to point out here, first of all, is a couple things. Near Protocol reacts very good to positive news. And second of all, it is one of the most consistent gainers in this bull run. Matter of fact, when we're looking at projects to buy this cycle, you want to find the ones that on market downturns don't react the worst, okay? They kind of hold their own. That means it's got strong support, not in the technical sense, but in the community sense, okay? People buy this and they deem it a quality investment, therefore they're not selling it so easily. Not only that, but again, like I just said, it reacts well to news. Like earlier this year, NVIDIA's GTC conference, of course, saw that Ilya, one of the co-founders of Near, actually presented on one of these panels about transformers. He actually helped build the transformers, which is a very pinnacle part of what makes AI. And I covered this on my channel, right? Way back in December of last year. We'll get to Near Task in a second, which is their AI play. I kind of pointed out the fact that Ilya is actually part of the meme, right? Part of the reasons why I tell you all on the channel, the projects I look for, okay, what constitutes a reason they'll pump? And I pointed out Ilya as being one of them, which of course it reacted with based on this news, as I just said. And that happened over here, Near Protocol being in the blue line, of course, as crypto typically does. Buy the rumor, this was all the rumor, then on the day of the event, it sells, right? Sell the news. People always say, Corin, why are you so sure of this? It's because we're in a speculation market. There's no reason to any of this, okay? There isn't going to be ever a day in crypto where there's a pump on the day of the news. Why is that? Because that would mean that the news would have to bring in inflows of money, okay? Or basically it'd be a lot more bullish than what people anticipate. Now, I do want to say as well, guys, Near Protocol hasn't truly had a bull run just yet. It actually pretty much had its peak back when Bitcoin, like you can see in this chart over here, was pretty much into the bear market parts, right? Because it launched pretty late, about halfway through the bull run last time. We saw it pump way late, even later than gaming. Gaming altcoins on average pumped over here. So this is an indication to myself and many others that we're expecting or can expect some pretty huge gains because it really didn't have the full force of the last bull run. And we're already seeing the dominance move up, as I'll get to in a few moments. But what is Near Protocol? Well, Near Protocol basically is a layer 1 project that has a sharded network. I know we're not talking about sharding here, we're talking about sharding. Now, sharding is a very key part of crypto. This allows a blockchain to scale indefinitely. Pretty much as much demand comes in, it can handle that demand, or at least in theory. No blockchains, even to this day, can really handle massive amounts of demand, but these are all work in progresses, okay? This is bleeding edge technology we're talking about here, so we can't expect any of these to be, scalable right from the get-go, but Near Protocol is at the forefront. They actually have a very unique sharding approach and mechanism they're calling Nightshade, which implements their own unique consensus mechanism, right? The thing that makes the protocol validate and tick, which is called Doomslug. There's a lot of these sort of interesting words and sort of acronyms we can use here to represent what they're doing, but this is probably one of the most interesting sharding approaches I've ever seen. I actually made a video way back here, well, it's over 12 months ago now, February in 2023, where I actually broke down what the protocol sharding looks like. You can see this is all myself creating this over here. And I used to do this quite a lot, right? I used to break down the technology and everything in deep detail. So if you want to watch this video right here, learn about Nightshade, learn about Doomslug over here where I talk about it, then basically you can go watch that video. I'll leave the links down below. It's very important you understand what you're buying, even if it's kind of a bit of a hard thing to learn initially, okay? Not only this, of course, we have some massive upgrades coming out for Near Protocol this year. I've outlined them in this recent roadmap update, right? The Q4 roadmap update, which was recently changed in January of this year, and their plans for this year have been outlined. They do have some insane plans. ZK WebAssembly state machine, this is going to be massive. They're also working with Polygon here, and they're going to do things like support account aggregation, which pretty much means that you can have one account to access all the different protocols. Guys, the Ethereum wallet support, I mean, the list goes on. They're really targeting this bull run in many more ways than you might actually expect, which again was one of the core factors as to why I bought Near in quite large amounts back when it was at $1, okay? But we still have some room to grow. Again, the price prediction will kind of highlight that. But not only this, one of their main factors here, I think one of the key pillars as to why they've done so well this cycle is because they launched something called Near Tasks, right? This is their AI play. Now, again, remember, Near Protocol's co-founder, Ilya, actually co-created the transformer model, again, using all AI models. Again, ChatGPT, the T in GPT is for transformer. You can't have AI models without it. Now, this Near Task basically is a marketplace, like a cash, if you will, sort of even like Render, but rather than trading GPUs, you're trading people. I know that sounds kind of bad when I say it out loud. You're trading brain power, all right? People in AI that know how these systems work and want to be hired for different works, they can do that over here, okay? So that's literally all it is, right? You just sign up, access different tasks, complete the tasks, and get feedback and continue to refine and refine. So that's all it is, right? That's all Near Tasks is. In my personal opinion, this isn't amazing. This isn't like, oh my God, this new AI revolutionary thing like ICP's putting, a completely decentralized AI model on the blockchain, completely decentralized front end, back end, the whole works. But what this is, again, is appealing to the speculators. It's appealing to this market, which is all you need. I cannot stress it enough, okay? It's just making the end user go, Ilya is a big part of, AI. Near Protocol, which, a little pro tip here, a little spoiler alert, they actually initiated their idea of Near as an AI project, then it merged to Web3. There's a whole backstory to that. And now they're integrating this Near Tasks. So people seem to think, hey, Near Protocol AI. And it's just how this crypto industry works. If you're kind of confused, scratching your head right now, thinking, how does that really correlate? A marketplace, but now it's an AI? Just how it is. It's just how it is, bro, okay? So I want to also introduce you to the blockchain operating system. This is sort of like their USP, right? Their unique selling point. Now, videos I made on that actual video there, and many months before that video, so like almost a year and a half ago at this point, I used to criticize Near Protocol because back then it didn't really have a unique selling point. It never had the main aspect they kind of focused their attention around now, right? If you scroll on their website, you'll see a term called the blockchain operating system, right? Or the BOS. Now, the BOS is this, okay? Basically, it acts as like a layer on top of the whole entire crypto space in which someone like Web2 Joe over here might want to come into crypto, only has to interact with a single interface. He has all of his widgets, social things on there. There's a full social buy, sort of set up on Near Protocol right now where you have like your score, you can do things like message and so on. And also components, like you can access, gaming on Solana or gaming on Polygon and interact with DeFi and Moonbeam or Chainlink and, use the dApps on a ZK protocol like me. Like that's what they're trying to aim for here. A unified interface where you can do completely everything called the blockchain operating system. This, again, is a very key part of looking for quality projects in a bull run. You need to have a vision. If there's no vision, no one's going to want to buy it, okay? It's literally just, that's how pretty much simple it is. If you can find a project that's got good marketing, that's got a really unique selling point, okay, something cool and a good vision, chances are it's going to do pretty well. Not only that, but they have a massive ecosystem fund, $800 million. I believe this might be the largest in the ecosystem, or at least at time of the launch, back in October of 2021, it definitely was, okay? It was the largest by far. They're doing things like allocating this $800 million, but on a net sort of scale, it's mostly going towards the ecosystem, okay? So a lot of this is going towards the ecosystem. I think the lion's share, about 350 odd million or so, is going towards DeFi specifically to build DeFi protocols on NEAR. And if we have a look at the TVL, again, this is a couple of years old now, it's actually prospering quite well, all right? So we're at the TVL levels here, almost the same back when it peaked at about 500 million. Again, right now, we're about 350 million, okay? So it's definitely inching up there, but just remember, these guys are looking to interconnect many different blockchains together, so it's more than just a single interface. I do want to point out as well, on a side note here, that NEAR protocol has, these different sort of blockchains that connect together, all right? They're called shards. This is sort of how it can scale indefinitely. If much more demand comes in, they can pop open a new shard, like a new mini blockchain underneath the main NEAR blockchain, basically, and those transactions can come through. A great part of NEAR protocol is that it randomly reorganizes all the applications in these shards so that all these applications don't choose to build on one shard and congest one shard, because typically transactions are faster on a single shard rather than doing a cross-shard transaction. But what I like about NEAR protocol here is that they have one single shard called Aurora that is specifically designed to be EVM compatible, so compatible to Ethereum and other EVM networks. That's obviously going to be, gaining continuous traction as the years go by. I don't think EVM will be slowing down anytime soon. One of the last points I want to make here as well is that they have one of the largest total funding amounts of any cryptocurrency, $1.1 billion worth of funding. So if you think your little $25 million project worth of funding is amazing, well then of course check out NEAR protocol with 67 investors, the largest names in the space. I mean, we can sit here all day and talk about who these people are, but you guys would have heard about them, well-known institutions themselves and also individual investors, and their partnerships are also quite massive as well. They recently, of course, announced a collaboration with Alibaba, right? Alibaba Cloud itself, which allows developers to pretty much boot up instant nodes in the Asia area for NEAR protocol and do a whole bunch of other really cool techie stuff as well, integrating NEAR protocol with the outside world as well. This was just one of the very, very many integrations as well. If we kind of scroll up the main page here, we can see they're connected to some very, very big, real world companies like Google as well. So the list goes on, and I just wanted to point it out as well for those of you who didn't know. Now, NEAR protocol also has pretty good tokenomics, in my personal opinion. Most of the tokens are out. There's a total supply of 1 billion tokens, but they have an inflation. So right now, there's a fair bit more tokens to release. I think maybe 100 or 200 million more tokens of the unlocks to still happen. But we've had about 192 million tokens actually unlocked, but they do have a burn mechanism as well. So they burn, I think, about 70 to 80% of every single transaction fee, gone forever. And they actually worked the math out over here on the tokenomics page. I believe it's about 1 billion transactions in a single day, which is about 14,000 TPS. Yes, that does sound quite crazy. That's when it'll actually officially become deflationary, but that can very well happen. Part of their sort of motto is to bring 1 billion users into Web3. So it was going to be one project, it's going to be NEAR protocol, and you don't have to worry about no huge unlocks with this project like other projects have with these, these huge vesting schedules that give a whole bunch of the tokens over to VCs. Now, I do want to kind of finalize up here with a few interesting points I think worthwhile mentioning before the price prediction. This is actually a sort of snapshot I took back on the 5th of the 12th last year, so December last year, up until the sort of late January of this year. And I did this on a video, by the way. It's all on the channel. And we actually saw NEAR protocol gain its market cap strength relative to some of its main competitors here, Cardano, Solana, and Ethereum. You can see here that it slightly edged closer to Cardano, pretty much maintained the same distance between Solana and slightly, or actually quite sizably gained against Ethereum. Now, in the last 4 months, what's actually happened is here, you'll notice that it's kind of gained on all of them significantly, okay? 9 billion market cap now. It's not even a 2x away from Cardano, only 89% away. Over here for Solana, 7.3x, so it's pretty much doubled down. It's actually beaten even Solana, and of course, done pretty much the same over here for Ethereum. So NEAR is gaining. Traction is gaining. I think if you're someone who denies that, well, I want to prove you wrong again, all right? Relative strength. This is taken from my price prediction sheet. We track relative strength over there. Links, of course, in the private community. We can see that NEAR protocol from the lows until now is up 215%, basically just over a 3x, and this is relative strength. So across the whole entire crypto space, all the projects on that 100 altcoin tier list in my private community, basically NEAR is up significantly, at least 1.5 times more than the average in this crypto space. Why? Well, basically because it hits most or a lot of the top 10 ranking narratives: data availability, Web3 layer 1, modularity, AI interoperability, and there's a whole bunch more as well, but these are the top main ones, okay? Now, its market dominance growth is what we're going to be using here to actually gauge pretty much how strong the project actually is right now and where it can kind of go to, okay? This is the chart we're kind of looking at here. This is its dominance growth, and you can see here that ever since the lows in October, Near Protocol has been on a massive tear from 0.09% at the low. Now it's up here at 0.35. Remember, guys, market dominance isn't just the project moving up in market cap. This is Near Protocol gaining strength on the market. If Near Protocol's market dominance stayed at 0.09, that just means it was moving up and moving down with the market, selling relative to the market. But the fact that it's gaining its dominance means that it's actually outpacing the market by magnitudes, basically, which is a very good sign to see. So long story short, I've kind of deduced that, most of the people on YouTube don't want to see math. So if you want to see the breakdown of this, go down there, private community. I will be breaking this down further for those of you over there, how I got these numbers and so on. Moral of the story, the price predictions, including inflation, including every possible thing, also including the fact that, these projects on average from their average low moves up to about 9 to 10x at their peak, which is their narrative peak in a bull run. Again, this is just all based on history, guys. And from now, usually about a 5x, we can kind of deduce that, roughly speaking, Near Protocol's price prediction should be around $50 to $90 in this cycle, just going off market data. And that's what I probably would place it at as well. We've got obviously, average high and extremely low bear cases here. But again, based on data, based on current performance for Near Protocol, I think $50 to $90 is definitely in the cards. So we're still in my opinion, for some decent multiples. Again, this isn't financial advice. And lastly, guys, Near Protocol is one of the very few coins that you can actually do a multi-cycle compounding plan where you buy, for example, today $1,000 worth. It's about 125 Near tokens. You actually sell, again, conservatively here at about $45 in this bull run. Okay, that's of course going for the lower average side of $60. Again, remember I said about $50 to $90. So we're going to go on the lower side of that. And then in the next bear market, if Near fell 90%, which again, most projects even fall more than that, we can expect to pick up about 250 Near tokens, therefore giving us a net profit of around about, well, of course, minus about $1,000, about $74,000 net profit, all right, which is pretty impressive. And of course, you can add even more on that if you decide to stake in the interim periods between now and the bull run and the next bear market to the next bull run, okay? So if that makes sense, then you can kind of come to a chart like this on Near Protocol, which is its current chart right now, and plot your sell levels, okay? Red being the danger zone. You don't really want to be selling, if you can, in the red zone between the max sell price here, over here of $60 to the 25% down level. If you sell in here, again, it's the red zone, you're running the risk. Gray zone you can get away with, but again, that's quite, high chance of it possibly not getting there. And the green zone you should be trying to aim for your multiples. So how I kind of look at this is, if you're someone trying to basically get anything more than let's just say 4x out of Near Protocol, there is, or 5x, there is added risk. But keep in mind, this $60 price prediction was basically on the lower average. So again, using that top price possible prediction, we can kind of come up the numbers here, and you can kind of look a bit more to the higher side. I probably would say this probably makes a little bit more sense, but we like to be conservative over here and just play the game safe. So in this case, you're probably looking closer to maybe about a 7x in the safe zone. Any higher than that might get a bit risky, but that's buying today. All right, if you bought today at $8. So there you go, guys. Again, you can multi-cycle compound with this project. It's going to be, I think, gearing up for a massive cycle this year, or this cycle and the next cycle as well. Thank you all. Talk to you soon. Take good care. Bye.